Before we get started today, I would like to draw attention to a GoFundMe that my friend and the moderator of our Discord channel, Malcaria, is running. She's running a GoFundMe to try and visit her brother in Japan. I believe he's stationed in Japan, though I admittedly don't know if that last part's true, to be fair. She's trying to raise $1,800 by April 27th. So, that's not very long from now. So, if anybody has any money at all to contribute to the GoFundMe, I would be very appreciative and very thankful. I will link to the GoFundMe in the description. If anybody can chip in anything at all, even just like $1, I would be very appreciative. Thank you very much for listening. And now let's get back to business. Okay, today we are playing a game on Oasis. We are in the Diamond SR range, and we will be playing Roadhog the entire way through. And our current team composition is Roadhog, Zarya, Hanzo, Soldier 76, Mercy, and Lucio. So Roadhog Zarya is like the worst combination of tanks in the entire game. It's basically the combo of tanks you see when both people were like, I know I have to pick a tank, but I don't really want to pick a tank, you know? So I'll pick someone that's in the tank category and just kind of pretend, really. You know, it's a very bad combo of tanks. It gives you very little frontline presence, and it's very hard to actually walk in somewhere with Roadhog Zarya, because they do very little to protect people, right? Like, they do still kind of protect people, but not in the same way that, like, a Reinhardt or an Orisa or a D.Va or a Winston will, you know? They don't have the same presence, basically. So that's bad. Hanzo, pre-rework. Sad, obviously, as we are when we see Hanzo on the team. Pre-rework. Post-rework, he's going to be really strong, but currently, no, we don't like that. So anyway, let's start the game. And, you know, Mercy Lucio, old school, retro as hell. No Moira at all. Anyway, or Anna, very retro. So we've come up here, and we haven't immediately seen the enemy team. They probably don't have a Lucio. This is... Oh, I remember when you were on King of the Hill and it was just like, yep, both teams are going to speed boost right up to each other and start fighting. Not so much anymore. We actually beat them there because we have a Lucio. So we see that they have a Winston. So we as Roadhog have to try and counter Winston as hard as possible because that's what we do as Roadhog. We didn't quite kill him, but we led to him dying, so hooray. And now somebody else is dead on their team. Our Lucio died, but he got revived, so now we can push back in again. And, they've lost. Finish off Mercy as well. She's really upset about that one. I know I would be. And, hooray. We captured the point. And we actually did a lot of work in capturing that point. We killed, most of those people. Even Winston, we didn't directly kill, but, we are the reason Winston died, so... We made this. And now we've got Whole Hog as well. Now, Whole Hog isn't a fantastic ultimate. Most often it's used to disengage more than anything else, because unless you can pin somebody in a corner, use a ledge, or you get nano boosted, or you can combo a Graviton as well, it doesn't really kill people. Those are the only situations it does. But what it is really strong at is just I'm not feeling this team fight, so we're just going to call the whole thing off, guys. You're going to go back to your spawn, and we're just going to call it good. And we did decide to use it here basically just to try and kill Winston with it. He's already fucked up, really, by, coming in so far ahead of his team. His team are, miles behind him right now, and not great at following up on a Winston, really, but, so we use Whole Hog to kill Winston, and that's all we really use it for. And it's not a great use of company resources, because we could have probably killed him anyway. He left his bubble. We could have just, even though we didn't hook him, we could have killed him without it regardless, so not a great use of the ultimate. Either way, you know, he's dead. 2 people died over there. Mercy rezzed the 1 person. If somebody dies in, a kinda safe location, like they did over there, and you're playing Roadhog, if they got a Mercy... Oh no, we've used our hook. If they got a Mercy, try and, hang around so you can interrupt the res, because if the person died in a pretty safe location, the Mercy is gonna try and res them. So if you've got, the hook, a really long-range crowd control ability, you should hang around to try and interrupt the res, if possible. Or if you just, can do damage. A McCree doesn't need to be close to them, because the McCree can just see the Mercy come out and start resing and try to, kill her, right? So, If somebody dies in, like, a location the Mercy's probably going to try for the res, you should hang around and try and interrupt him, but our hook was on cooldown in that situation anyway. But just general thing. Good practice. So, this is, it's not a great use to take a breather. Because, this is, you know, we only use it to heal half as much as we could have done, and, like, we weren't in a super scary location. This is the thing with Overwatch, right? Is that ultimates are obviously very important aspects of your hero. We focus a lot on them because they're the most important part of your hero. But then the second most important part of your hero is your abilities, right? Very few heroes are defined by their guns. Like, Widowmaker obviously is, but really we're defined by our ultimates and our abilities. Roadhog's very defined by his abilities. Take a breather and Hook, obviously. They define Roadhog. So you don't really want to use Take a Breather, and when you use Take a Breather and the Hook, you want to be getting as much value out of them as possible, right? Like, you want to heal the full 300 damage. You want to hopefully block damage as well, or, like, negate an ultimate. When you hook somebody, you're not hooking somebody for the sake of hooking them. You're hooking them because you think you're going to kill them. Or if you're not going to kill them, your team's going to kill them, right? Or, like, interrupt an ultimate as well. Because this is very common with Roadhogs, where they just use Take a Breather when they've taken some damage, or they just use the hook because they can hook somebody, even if hooking that person doesn't seem like it's realistically going to convert into anything. Like, if hooking that person doesn't convert into a kill, hooking them didn't do anything. Now Hook's just on cooldown, right? Or they'll just try and hook somebody and then miss them, and then, like, the hook's on cooldown, and then, like, you're not a hero for the next 8 seconds, right? Like, when you use your abilities, you want to get as much value out of them as possible. You don't want to just use Take a Breather when, like, and heal, like, 150 health, right? Like, you want to heal 300 health, ideally. We want to get as much value out of our abilities as possible. Especially as someone like Roadhog, who does have some of the highest impact, like, abilities in the game. This is the trade-off for Roadhog. His ultimate isn't as good as other heroes, but his abilities are fantastic, right? So, anyway, we've hooked the D.Va, but unfortunately D.Va does just kind of get to go away. That's just how that is. Graviton happens over here. Unfortunately, we don't have the Rudy Tooty Whiz-Bang shooting here to really do anything. Again, we use Take a Breather when, like, we're not actually that hurt. You know, we got hit a couple of times, but we weren't actually, like, low health. And Mercy's using Valkyrie as well, so the using Take a Breather right there doesn't really convert into anything. Could have considered using your ult right here to try and push Winston off the edge. He does have the jump, though, so, you know, it's mostly because he got nano boosted that I would even consider it, but, like, you know. So here we can see McCree is trying to kill somebody. We interrupt that. He doesn't get to kill anybody. We've got our ult now, but we're too low health to use it. My Roadhog paints a big target on himself when he's low health. So, you know, just pick up the large health kit while you're in the room. It's not very out of your way, and it'll put you back at basically full health, right? Like, it's not too out of the way. But we just hang out down here, Take a Breather. We wisely don't go up into that room, because going up into that room, most points during this would have likely led to death, so we show great patience. Hook D.Va, unfortunately, again, D.Va does get to just leave. If there is a D.Va on the enemy team and you're playing Roadhog, you should consider switching, because D.Va makes it so difficult for Roadhog to actually do what he needs to do, because you just hook somebody, and D.Va holds self-defense matrix over that person, and you don't kill that person. If you hook D.Va, she holds defense matrix over herself and backs away, and you probably don't kill D.Va either, so having a D.Va on the enemy team makes it really hard for Roadhog to do anything. Roadhog is kind of this way where, like, having a D.Va on the enemy team, or on your team as the other tank, usually results in you losing, because D.Va just fucks you so badly if she's on the other team, and Roadhog and D.Va as a combo of tanks is a very bad combo of tanks. Like, they just have no synergy with each other, and they provide very little presence, right? D.Va goes off and tries to kill somebody, and then Roadhog's left with the rest of the team like, yeah, well, you know, I'm your tank now. How does it feel? Probably not very good. So, you know, if D.Va's the other tank on your team or on the enemy team, I consider switching. Unless you have a really good reason to stay on Roadhog. Like, if the rest of their team is still like Winston, Genji, Tracer, like Roadhog's still fair enough because he's okay at dealing with all of those people. But I do consider switching at that point. So before we use the ult right here, like fair enough, we want to try and pin people in this corner and kill them with it. All right, just like use take a breather first though, because like you're close to half health when you start using your ult right here, and Roadhog is very easy to kill when he's using the Rudy Tooty Whizbang Shooty. It's actually when he's like most vulnerable, weirdly enough, because he can't use any of his other abilities. So you want to be like pretty healthy when you're going in with your ult. So we're trying to kill this Junkrat over here, but while that's happening, our team is like losing the team fight behind us. And oh Jesus, oh god, oh no. So yeah, we can't really go down here because it's an overtime, so like we should have just stayed up there and like, you know, used take a breather and tried to hold the point for as long as possible. But like, we all know that realistically, like, you lost that point by then. You know, it's just how it is. So far, the thing that stands out is ult execution not very good off the first round, and probably be more willing to change off of Roadhog because it is very hard to play Roadhog against D.Va. Their team in general is kind of hard to play Roadhog against because they also have Ana, and Ana is really good against Roadhog because she's got hard crowd control. She can interrupt, take a breather with Trank or with her biotic grenade. And also, just putting that, even if you don't deny take a breather, being unable to heal Roadhog is really bad, right? It just throws that on you while you're using your ult. You're even easier to kill at that point. So, Ana as well. And their team is just kind of, like, annoying as well, because they had McCree as well. Flashbang, the person flashbang when you hook somebody. He can be just out of range. You can use roll to dodge the hook. Junkrat, probably going to be out of line of sight most of the time. Junkrat can be so far away from you when he's fighting that it's hard to hook him as well. Their team in general is rather difficult to play Roadhog against. And someone like Winston would be a better pick because Winston's really good at killing Ana, and then is also good at killing McCree and Junkrat as well, or perhaps D.Va as well. Would be better choices likely. We do get to at least counter Winston, but their team, based off the last round, is very hostile for us to really play against. Oh, she's upset. Unfortunately, we didn't have any ammo left in our gun to actually finish her off with, which is very tragic indeed, but she's upset all the same. Like, you know she's up in the sky and she went, what the fuck, when she got hooked, because that's just what they, oh my goodness, oh. She was going to be upset as well, but unfortunately, the corner, very sad. But like, a lot of their team are dead. Oh, she's upset. Even though we didn't actually do that much damage to her, she's upset. We're pretty good, well, okay, we're really good mechanically at Roadhog, right? Like, especially based off, like, that little bit right there. We're really good at hooking people and shooting people, which is important. Roadhog is the most, I hesitate to say he's the most mechanically intense hero, because I also think about Orisa, and I'm like, Orisa is entirely about aiming, really. But he is, like, definitely the top 2, if not the top, most mechanically demanding hero. So being good mechanically at Roadhog is a big deal. So now they have D.Va and Reinhardt. Roadhog, pretty good against Reinhardt because you can do that, and also, you're really good at breaking barriers because Roadhog's right-click is really good at doing damage to barriers from far away. So, unfortunately, they also still have D.Va, so that makes things more difficult, but Roadhog is really good against Reinhardt. I hate playing against Roadhog as Reinhardt, because he just makes it so difficult, interrupts the charge, he's doing damage to the barrier, it's a big inconvenience. So this round's going a lot easier this round. What a good sentence. This round's going a lot easier this round. Oh, fantastic English. So they're helping us out a lot because there's no like unified push happening on the enemy team. And our team is really good at picking people off and punishing people. Like, look at this, right? Like, we got Zenyatta, so there's already that. Winston's diving on people, Reaper's diving on people, we can pick people off as Roadhog, obviously, and Soldier's just doing damage to everybody as well. Like, them not having a unified push and just kind of coming at us a couple of people at a time, it makes it a lot easier for a team like us, because we're all about picking people off. Good control of the high ground, makes it really difficult for them to push in, and our team is really good on the high ground because, Zenyatta and Soldier, so obviously we're good on the high ground, and Winston'd love to jump up on there, or Diva'd love to jump up on there, but we got Reaper and Roadhog up here as well, so us controlling the high ground is really obnoxious for them to deal with. Now that Tracer is dead, Reinhardt's been nano-boosted over there. We do have our ultimate if we need to push him away, but he doesn't end up really threatening us that much while using his ult. Now we're going to use it. We can use it to, like, finish off the people in this fight. The fight looked like it could have still gone either way, and we want this to be the last fight, so we just use our whole hog right at the end to make sure we win the last fight. It all works out great. Enemy team gave us a lot of help during that round. So, now, as you can see, this round's not very short, so one way or the other, it's really easy. So our team comp suddenly got significantly worse, because now we have Lucio and Sombra. Zenyatta works with our team a lot better, because we can, we're good at picking people off, and Zenyatta makes it really easy to pick people off, and Soldier is just, like, kind of better than Sombra. Well, I guess that's debatable. Like, I see people playing Sombra very close to Soldier at this point, because her, spread is, tighter now, if you know what I mean. And, It's fucking 5:30, alright? Give me a break. So, her gun's a lot more accurate now, and she's really good at, like, fucking people up. She's obviously not as long range as Soldier is, but I've seen people start playing Sombra very close to how you would play Soldier, because now her gun is more accurate. And then you can just kind of, like, fuck with people as they come in, basically. Seeing as she, being less dependent on health kits to charge her ultimate, she's more dependent on just, like, fighting people, and as a result, just kind of, like, sticking with your team and, like, fighting people tends to work out well. I mean, she can still flank, obviously. She still has some of the best, debatably the best movement abilities in the game, but especially since they put the punishment on for, like, fucking up the hack, she can be played in a position very similarly to Soldier at this point. But Soldier is still better at being Soldier at the end of the day, but Sombra, Sombra's really good at being disruptive, especially to tanks. If tanks on the enemy team are giving you a lot of trouble, Sombra is really good at countering those people. She's also good at countering Pharah, because, oh, look. Just watch the Pharah arrive on the ground. Good times. So, gotta remember that as Roadhog, you're a big beefy boy, and you can be killed very quickly if you're out of position. We are kind of just standing in pretty much the open right now. Like, we aren't standing close enough to any one thing to use as cover, and we're just kind of out in the open. So they just, like, take that opportunity to jump on us and kill us. Like, we as Roadhog can be killed if we're out of position. If we don't have, like, a barrier to stand behind, we've got to bear in mind that we need to be positioned kind of near cover, right? Take a breather obviously gives you a buffer period because you've got damage reduction while you're healing, which is really strong. But you have to still be able to get to the cover. And if you're low health, you can still be bursted to death, right? So you got to be careful about just kind of being out in the open. Roadhog, very difficult to kill, but if the Roadhog's out of position, very easy to kill. Well, I mean, isn't that true of every fucking hero, but you get the idea. So, excellent self-control. We wait until the biotic grenade is basically off, and then we push the button. Even though things started to get scary, we resisted just using it for the damage reduction, and waited to benefit from the healing as well, but unfortunately, then we got murdered by the enemy Roadhog's ultimate. It was a bad situation to be in. So, fight going well over here. Enemy team started losing momentum. Our team gets back to the fight very quickly. So, our team gets back quickly, manages to convert the rest of the fight into a win. So now we've got control of the point. We're pretty hostile to advance into as Reaper and Roadhog, so... And then there's Sombra in here as well, who fucks with people, Sombra's over there fucking with Tracer, because Sombra's really good at fucking with Tracer. Hack Tracer is the saddest hero in the entire game. Well, Nah, to me, Tracer is definitely the saddest hero in the game to get hacked. Reinhardt is honorable mention for sadness, as is D.Va, but Tracer is, like, really sad. So we start using our ult right there. Was D.Va hacked so she couldn't use self-destructs? Kind of can't tell. There's a lot of particle effects on top of each other. Either she chose not to, or she was hacked. Either way. Because I expected it from that position, but I guess not. So, we basically just drive off the entire fight right there. They lost D.Va immediately, and we were pushing them back, so I killed someone by accident, which is always nice. And now we, like, these people are trying real hard to stagger themselves at this point. Like, Roadhog has just staggered himself as badly as possible, basically. Now D.Va's trying to stagger herself. D.Va already, like, has built-in stagger mechanics, and now she's staggered as well, so enemy team's helping us out. Tracer's just picked off both our supports, but her team's dead right now, so as you can see, they're having a little bit of trouble converting. Winston was way, way over there. We fall back really far because we can't stand up there right now. Most of our team are dead. Well, half our team is dead. It's pretty close to most of our team. So we've got to sit back here and play passively until our team regroups. Fortunately, our team's very fast, so they regroup very quickly. How low are we when we use that ability? You know, reasonably close, but not that scared. And, like, there's a Moira behind us. Didn't need to use Take a Breather there either, because, like, it wasn't really scary enough to warrant using Take a Breather, and we didn't benefit that much from it. So Sombra used her Emp, which made it really difficult for the enemy team to do anything. Both our healers are dead again, but enemy team's dead. So easy money, easy money. Enemy team started to help us out a lot, right? Like, if they played really well in the first game, and, like, our team was not the best for dealing with them, but we adjusted, they adjusted a little bit, but their adjustment was worse than our adjustment, and then they started staggering themselves mad hard as well, so easy. Oh, look, here oh, fucking Reaper's just over here, like, tearing boys. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, fair enough, might as well. Alright, so the thing that stands out the most in this game is ult execution. I don't feel like we benefit from very many of the whole hogs that we use in this game. A couple of them, you know, a few of them were fair enough, but I feel like overall ult execution was the biggest thing, and then Take a Breather we use rather frivolously when we could be more frugal with it in situations. Granted, it's one of those abilities that's always going to benefit from using too soon rather than too late, because too late you're already dead. Too soon, you might not get full value out of it, but you probably won't die still. But, you know, we can get more value out of Take a Breather than we did in this game. And also, when you get to, like, Diamond plus SR, people know how to play their hero, right? They know how to play the game, basically. So, glaring mistakes are less common, and so, as a result, there are less mistakes to punish. This point onwards, it becomes less about punishing the enemy team as it does just, like, being as efficient with your hero as possible and trying to get as much, trying to be as efficient with your hero and your resources as possible, because suddenly the very small percentage-based plays matter, right? Like, getting the extra, like, 100 healing out of Take a Breather doesn't matter that frequently, but sometimes that extra 100 health that you could have gotten does matter, and because sometimes that does matter, in higher SR, things like that become more important, because small mistakes are more likely to be punished, and there are less glaring mistakes happening. So, Take a Breather and ult execution were the things that stood out the most. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.